So there's a restaurant that's open for a few months that very few in Bengaluru seem to know about. It's thick, chilled, and very satisfying.
Chicken malai tikka.
Chicken malai tikka. This piece is softer and also more moist. The dal is smoky. The lentils in that hold their shape just up till the point that you place it in your mouth. All the dishes that I've tasted thus far, chicken malai tikka, butter garlic fish, the honey chili potatoes, the hara bhara kabab, and the three gravies, right from the dal to the mutter paneer and that kadai chicken, are the sort that are tasty and hit the spot without requiring you to fuss too much over them. Hi folks, this is Kripal Amanna, Gourmet on the Road, and you're watching Food Lovers TV. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe and strong. So we're on the airport road here in Bengaluru today, headed to the airport, but I'm not taking a flight. Well, I'm going there to check an eatery, of course. So there's a restaurant that's open for a few months that very few in Bengaluru seem to know about. Now this restaurant is run by a chef friend of mine whom I met over 10 years ago when he used to work at a leading 5-star hotel in the city. And I still remember some delicious meals, some delicious Indian meals that I've tasted prepared by him. So it's been a while since I've met him, but I'm hoping to find some of those flavors in this very unknown restaurant here in Bengaluru at the airport. Well, this is a part of the airport that I've never been to before. We are in the cargo complex and right here is Maa Da Dhaba. To be honest, I didn't expect to find a restaurant here in the middle of nowhere. We are at the airport, but this is a part of the airport that you probably don't come to unless you have specific work here, which I think also makes for a good quiet setting for a restaurant. Once you hit Hebbal, it's a smooth drive from there till this eatery. Namaskar.
Good to see you. Good to see you after a long time.
कितने साल हो गए?
Almost 10 years.
10 years.
I left Lalita in 2013.
Ah.
After that we haven't met. This is the first time I think. After that we are meeting.
Well, I'm with a chef friend that I haven't met in a decade.
Yes.
Chef Subodh Goyal. I've met him in his time at the Lalita show.
Very good.
I've had many delicious North Indian meals with him. Baluchi is a restaurant which is fairly popular, very popular then, perhaps is as popular now, and also the food, the Indian food that would come out of the main kitchen in banqueting.
Very true, very true.
So I've enjoyed many meals with Chef Subodh Goyal, and when he told me about this eatery that he has opened here in the airport, I said I must certainly take a look. Firstly, of course, to meet him and also reacquaint my taste buds with the delicious fare I used to taste. Already thoda
You are getting an aroma.
I can get the aroma. Kya pak raha hai andar?
We are having a live tandoor. In airport, we are the only one who is doing the live tandoor actually.
Ah, okay.
Nobody is getting the permission to put a live tandoor. So we are doing a live tandoor. So you will get the hot rotis, naan and the kebabs.
और क्या चाहिए, हाँ? So this was built and given to you as a space.
This SS structure has been created by the shell.
Okay.
And the entire inside work has been done by me.
So all these people that I'm seeing around here are what? People who are from the area or?
Some of the people from the area, some of the people who is working for the cargo offices.
Ah, okay.
Monday to Friday, we are doing good. The Saturday, Sunday is a little dull.
Because not too many people come this side.
Yes.
So Chef Subodh also has another eatery in Yalahang. Two eateries.
Two eateries in Yalanka.
That are called Maa Da Dhaba.
One is Maa Da Dhaba, one is Maa Da Dhaba Express.
And those are vegetarian?
One is vegetarian, pure vegetarian, and another one is a veg and non-veg together.
Ah, okay. So the food that you do there is similar to the food that you
Almost
do
70% preparations are same. Because Maa Da Dhaba is basically on the Haldiram pattern. You will get the chaat, sweets and all this.
Ah, okay. Whereas out here?
You will get everything actually. Some of the chaat stuff also, as well as the main course.
Wonderful. Can we take a look in your kitchen?
Yeah, please.
To see what's happening. I love the aroma. My mind is going back to chefs cooking from Lalit.
Yes.
The aroma of the tandoor, some kebabs, some dal.
Tandoor is in the corner. Then
okay.
beside that there is a Chinese section, then the Indian, and the bulk cooking at that side.
Oh, you have a thali as well.
Thali also.
So thali mein kya aata hai?
For the non-veg thali, you will get one chicken curry, chicken preparation, raita, sweet, one dal, pulao, roti, or salad.
And how much is this priced at?
160 rupees.
So this thali is available every day or?
Yes, every day. The menu keeps on changing on a daily basis. Sometimes it is butter chicken, sometimes it is kadai chicken. Because most of the customers
Aaj kya hai, bhuna chicken?
Chicken curry.
So 160 rupees.
160 rupees.
That's it.
That's it.
And veg thali?
Veg thali is 140.
So I think the pricing that you do at Yelahanka is also very reasonable from what I hear.
that is quite on the higher side compared to here.
Really?
Because recently we have started this, so basically the prices are promotional.
Promotional prices. So get here early.
We have tandoor.
So you have a Chinese
Chinese
section.
also. Everybody wants to have the different thing. If you go to the airport, you will not get the noodles. So here you are getting the hotter noodles.
So you can actually have a meal here before taking your flight.
Please.
Yes.
One crispy corn salt and pepper, one chicken tikka, one mushroom pepper dry, 4 buttermilk, one lassi. Number 16.
So chef, there's a fair bit happening here. I can see rotis flying out. I can see the orders going out, both in the Indian as well as your Chinese section.
Yes, yes.
So I have a question for you, chef. Lalit, you were always there.
Yeah.
So here you have multiple outlets.
Yes.
Right? And you're obviously not there everywhere. So how do you ensure the...
Every outlet has got their dedicated manager and the supervisor.
Okay.
And the recipes are set by me only. So they have to follow the standard recipes. On top of that, feedback mechanism is also has been created. So whenever there is a feedback, it has to come to me.
So anyway, all that chef said, and I'm sure he's doing all of that. But like they say, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So I think we should go to the restaurant and taste some of the dishes that he was on offer here at Maa Da Dhaba Airport. Let's go. Well, I wasn't expecting to find too many people out here, going by the fact that this restaurant is still undiscovered to many folks. But I guess when there's good food around, and especially the sort of aromas that I'm smelling, it has its way of finding its customers. So the atmosphere here is that of a large dining hall. It's also brightly lit, very airy, well ventilated. So the first thing that I saw here on the menu was things like idli, vade, hara baat, kesari baat, etc. So they told me that because we began in this location, which is quite unusual, we also had to cater to the functional requirements of people here. And therefore some South Indian items as well. But I'm told they're no longer serving that for breakfast. So now if you come for breakfast, you'll find things like aloo paratha, gobi paratha, some puri sabzi and things like that. But what I'm keen to try here are the North Indian style of dishes, because that is what Chef Subodh Goel used to be famous for at the Lalit. So there's a smattering of kebabs. They have some vegetarian kebabs, the usual non-vegetarian kebabs. You also have a couple of Chinese dishes, because I'm told Chinese also has become popular. There's the dals, of course. And for those on a bit of a budget here, they also have these combos. So I think the food here is priced fairly reasonable. So for instance, you have a butter chicken with a naan combo at 170 rupees and things like that. So give us one hara bhara kebab, give us one honey chili potatoes. So let us do one chicken malai tikka, one butter garlic prawn. We'll do a Punjabi kadai chicken, something in vegetarian.
Matar paneer, mushroom masala.
Let's do a matar paneer. Paneer we haven't tried. So we'll definitely do a paneer. Wonderful. I'll do the roti with that. Oh, dal makhani nahi bola na? Hai? So let us do a dal makhani. I remember his dal makhani too from those days. Thank you. I also spotted some dishes which are more south in their nature, like the mutton pepper fry, etc. But I'm told that they've run out of their mutton. Nonetheless, I think it should make for an interesting meal.
Sweet lassi.
Sweet lassi. Thank you very much.
Dhaba style sweet lassi.
This is a sort of lassi that you can drink. Definitely need to scoop it up, and it's chilled. Very good. Excellent. It's a hot day here in Bengaluru, and this is a sort of lassi that hits the spot. But I must be careful because if I end up consuming too many spoonfuls of it, I won't have enough space for the rest of the food that I've ordered. But it's so good. It's thick, chilled, and very satisfying.
Honey chili potato, chicken malai tikka,
Chicken malai tikka,
vegetable hara bhara kebab,
hara bhara kabab.
butter garlic fish.
Fish. There's no prawns. Got over.
Finish. Over.
So I guess you have to come here early because I think they, especially things like the mutton and the prawn, probably limited quantities. So we have the honey chili potatoes here. There's some spring onions on top, some sesame as well. This is the hara bhara kebab. There is a malai chicken tikka. You can definitely see the malai on that chicken. And then of course the fish, the butter garlic fish. Some of the salad, some chutney. So reach for a hara bhara kebab while I'm at it. Chicken is nice and smoky, very moist inside. Not the sort of chicken we are tasting a lot of the ginger garlic paste sometimes, if it's been marinated too long. Of course, the creaminess of the malai that you're tasting, the chicken is nice and soft inside. And I guess the chutney, the mint chutney, makes for a flavorful partner to that chicken kebab. This piece is softer and also more moist. So when they skewer the chicken on a salia, so the piece of the chicken which is in the center of the salia is the one that's protected from the heat of the tandoor to a certain extent on both its sides, because it's got a piece of chicken tikka here, a piece of chicken tikka there. So this piece I think is from that center and therefore seems to be much softer, juicier than the one that I just tasted. And that certainly seems to be the case. Nice and moist. The mint chutney also helps cut some of the creaminess of that chicken with the mint and also the lime that's gone into it. The one thing that struck me about the food here is the fact that the prices seem to be very reasonable. So that portion of chicken tikka, if I remember correct, is all of 210 or 220 rupees. So of course my friends who both also told me that because it's a new place, so therefore they've kept the prices a little lower, just so that they can get enough customers to come in and try the place. Now for some hara bhara kebab. A tasty kebab, quite crunchy on the outside and pasty within. There's a bit of the peas that I'm tasting, the texture of the peas, in addition to the pastiness of the potatoes. Also some of the spices. Honey chili potatoes. And also some of that fish butter garlic. tasty preparation in the garlic that I'm tasting. Also plenty of sesame seeds that I'm tasting in that. So it also brings in a certain nuttiness along with the freshness of the spring onions and the capsicum that you see in there. But I must be honest, while the preparation is fine, the basa, which is the fish that's used here, is not one of my favorite fish to try. But I guess many eateries use that fish because they find it convenient to procure and also convenient to handle. But to me, while the preparation tastes great, the fish is not on my most favored list. That's an interesting dish. I'm tasting the sweetness of the honey right away and then the heat of some chili sauce that's gone into it. And what's nice is that the sesame that the potato is coated with quite generously provides an interesting flavor twist. What's also nice here is that the potato is rather soft, rather creamy on the inside, and the outside, because it's been wok tossed, it's quite crisp and crunchy. I think if you have a large group, 4-5 people, this is a sort of appetizer that would serve very well as some time pass before the rest of your food comes in. So when you come here and you take a look at the space, like I said earlier, seems quite industrial. Well, that's really the sort of facility that it is. We are after all in the airport, and the architectural style here is that of a hangar. Of course, they've added a few elements to make it a little restaurant-like, but there's no taking away the industrial ambience of the place. So in a space like this, you're not really expecting too much by virtue of the food that you're tasting. But out here, because the restaurant is fronted by a chef, the food certainly rises much higher than the atmosphere or the decor. And having said that, there's nothing wrong in the decor here. It's just very Spartan, very functional. I think I should go for another piece of that chicken tikka before I call for the main course. I love the softness of the meat and the charred edges. Not overly doused in the malai, in the cream, just enough so as to lend that piece of meat a lovely creamy sort of a texture. And the mint sauce works perfectly fine with it. Well, there's not too much space on the table at this point because I have some of the appetizers and then we have the main courses too that have found their way to our table. So I think we're going to make a beginning with that Punjabi kadai chicken. Plenty of juliens of garlic that you see in there, plenty of onions, and of course I'm sure there's enough tomatoes that have gone into that masala. For the vegetarians, well, we have a mutter paneer. I think once you get past the cream and a bit of the oil that's floating on top, well, it's the goodness of some desi style mutter and paneer. And this is a dish that Chef Subodh Goyal was very famous for. That was the dal, the kali dal. And the dal makhani, which is what we've ordered, which is basically the whole urad dal that is simmered for hours on end with plenty of course, makhan. I've got the chicken there, but I want to make a beginning with that dal. The dal is smoky. The lentils in that hold their shape just up till the point that you place it in your mouth. And after that, they disintegrate quite readily as you apply the lightest of pressure. That's a tasty, comforting dal. Although I saw plenty of the malai on top, it isn't the sort of dal that is too decadent in its makhan as you taste it. So इसमें उतना heaviness नहीं है. Why is that?
Because in today's scenario, everybody has become calorie conscious. And initially, we used to put 1:1 ratio, butter, cream and the dal. Now we have reduced it to half because everybody has requested. It has become too heavy.
So it's much lighter.
Yes.
So
but the taste will remain same, the aroma will remain same.
It's very smoky. So how many hours do you cook this?
At least 12 hours. Before giving the final touch, 12 hours it has to be boiled.
So now what is the ratio of the makhan?
In 1 kg of dal, we are putting half kg of makhan and half liter of cream.
तो पहले कितना होता था?
It was 1 kg butter, 1 liter cream and 1 kg dal.
So not 1:1. That was 2:1. In terms of, but it's very nice. So this feels, of course, a lot lighter. That's something that I'm definitely noticing in this.
A lot of people who's coming to us on a daily basis, and they can't have rich food on a daily basis because they have to work after lunch also.
Correct. They can't go and sleep.
Yes.
Can you imagine? Because these folks are the ones who are working here in the airport. Can you imagine somebody who has a critical role to perform, having a meal here and then going back and falling asleep? Well, that can't happen. So, for example, even in this mutter paneer, I saw a bit of the cream on top. But when you go beyond that, it's very gharwala.
Yes. That is the only reason.
Wonderful. Very good, chef.
Thank you.
I've enjoyed almost all the dishes that I've tasted thus far. Thank you, chef. ये पनीर आप बनाते हो कि लाते हो?
We can't make because the consumption is too high. We need around 450 kg paneer in a day.
450 kilos of paneer in a day.
That is the consumption for us.
There's a bit of sweetness that I'm tasting in that gravy. Why is that?
While making the makhani gravy, the tomato-based gravy, instead of sugar, we add honey in it actually.
Yeah. And this mutter is what? Frozen. Frozen peas.
Yeah.
So I was bracing myself कि यहाँ पे आके खाऊंगा मैं शेफ सुबोध का खाना और घर जाके सोऊंगा. But that's not going to happen. I've ordered a biryani. What's the biryani going to be like?
Biryani is going to dum biryani only.
अच्छा.
With basmati rice. It's Hyderabadi style.
हैदराबादी स्टाइल. So पूरा दम पे बनाते हो.
पूरा दम पे.
तो कच्चा होता है चिकन, कच्ची अखनी.
Kaccha.
So you're doing a kachi akhni biryani here. Oh, nice. And that's again available across Maa Da Dhabas only here.
Only here because the consumption of the biryani is too much here because a lot of people order biryani. And in my Yelahanka outlet, people order kebabs and a curry more.
So here it's more the biryanis. So it's a one dish meal. And also what I find is that the pricing of your dishes even here, like for example this dal is what, 140 rupees?
Yes.
For such a big portion. ये मेरे लिए डाला है कि?
नहीं, it's a standard portion.
हाँ तो आप आओगे तो आपको भी यही मिलेगा.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. I produce a promotional price. Maybe in New Year after 2-3 months you change the pricing again.
So come before that and once you get used to the taste फिर भी आओगे आप. Thank you, chef. And this is a kadai chicken.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Chef Subodh Goel is a chef who knows his craft very well. So I remember when I used to eat with him the dal makhani, which was at the hotel that he worked in. It used to be very rich, very creamy. So you basically had a few spoons of the dal. But he says, well, times have changed. The customers no longer want that overload of cream, overload of butter. And therefore from a ratio of 1:1:1, that is 1 butter, 1 cream, 1 lentils, he's now gone to a 1/2:1 in terms of the cream, the butter and the kali urad dal. That again is a very simple, wholesome sort of a mutter paneer. Bit of sweetness that I detect, and chef says sometimes when they finish the makhani gravies, there's a bit of honey that gets drizzled onto it, and I suspect the sweetness that I'm tasting comes from that. I think next let's go to that Punjabi kadai chicken. Plenty of onions there. So the chicken here is first cooked in a tandoor and then tossed in that gravy with the onions, the tomatoes. So out here you're tasting the savouriness that comes from the onions, a bit of the sweetness, the tart sweetness that comes from tomatoes, and then the smokiness of that tandoori chicken. All the dishes that I've tasted thus far, be it the chicken malai tikka, butter garlic fish, the honey chili potatoes, the hara bhara kebab, and the 3 gravies, right from the dal to the mutter paneer and that kadai chicken, are the sort that are tasty and hit the spot without requiring you to fuss too much over them. Well, this is, I'm told, the Hyderabadi style of biryani, but a Hyderabadi would call this biryani a double masala biryani, because out here every grain of that rice has been soaked in that masala. I'm tasting right away the flavor of the mint and the coriander in that biryani. Personally, I prefer a biryani which has a little less masala because I want to taste the flavor of that masala every now and then. Sometimes when things are soaked too much in the masala, it becomes a little overwhelming. I'm also tasting somewhere in there the flavor of some of the spices, perhaps some cinnamon. The chicken is very moist. So out here I'm told they do it in a kachi akni style. So that's where the chicken is marinated and then placed at the bottom of the deg. And then rice, the semi-cooked rice is layered on it, layer by layer. And the pot, the deg is sealed for them. So that's how they do their biryani here. I'm also tasting somewhere in there now the heat of some of the chili. So when it comes to a hyderabadi biryani, I think there are various interpretations depending on the heat levels in that masala and also on the amount of masala that goes into the biryani. Personally, I find the spicing in this a tad overwhelming, especially the heat from the chilies, and I think that's where that raita will come into play, just to help cool things off. That chicken is cooked very well to the bone. So when it comes to cooking a kachi akhni biryani, one where the meat goes at the bottom of the pan, just marinated, raw, it requires a certain skill on the part of the biryani maker. And I'm not surprised that when it comes to the technique of making that biryani, they have nailed it perfectly well. But of course, with respect to the spicing, it also depends on the consumers that frequent the place. So I guess most people out here perhaps want their biryanis a little spicy, which is what they've chosen to do with that Hyderabadi dum biryani. Until chef told me about this eatery, I didn't even know that a place like this existed. And I think most of Bengaluru doesn't know. I think barring the people who work in this area, who have offices in and around the airport, they probably know about Maa Da Dhaba. But it is certainly one of those restaurants that's waiting to be discovered. The food that they do, especially the North Indian dishes that I've tasted, are the sort that hit the spot and make for a tasty meal. So if you're looking for a slightly hatke sort of a place, getting to which also involves a leisurely drive, definitely find your way to Maa Da Dhaba here at Bengaluru Airport in the cargo complex. I hope you've enjoyed this North Indian khana sort of an episode. Until the next time, take care, stay safe, stay strong, and happy eating. Well, for all the dishes that we've tasted, the hara bhara kabab, the honey chili potatoes, the dal makhani, the fish butter garlic, the Punjabi kadai chicken, the mutter paneer, the chicken tikka, the chicken biryani and the rotis, our bill is all of 1,700 rupees. I think the food that I ordered is the sort of food that will easily feed 4 or 5 people with a good appetite. Tells you of the honest pricing of the food here. Thank you.
Received Paytm payment of rupees 1,721.
If you'd like to support the work that we do at Food Lovers TV, do consider joining our membership community on YouTube by hitting the join button below or on the home page. You could pledge a nominal sum and receive special privileges like behind the scenes footage, shoot updates, access to live Q&As and a lot more. You could support us on our Patreon page as well. For more info, check out the links in the description below. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, share and leave a comment below. Happy eating!